After making my first million at 30 from those stupid Beatle books, I did what every poor kid does, man. I bought myself a big ass mansion. This mansion was in rough shape. You can see it at 735 East Market Street, Lockport, New York. I refuse to ever drive by. When people send me pictures, I ask them not because it's heartbreaking for me. Because I took that place from a dilapidated Victorian mansion into something wonderful. It took a lot of hundreds of thousands of dollars to do that. I think I had about 650 grand in it by the time I was done in renovations. I remember going to Home Depot and spending $60,000 cash on hardwood. Bruce hardwood flooring, it was called. They delivered in a big truck. They were always delivering. Now my wife and I, Brenda, lived, more or less we did. It was our bedroom on the second floor. It was just ridiculous. It's like the White House or something. It was huge. And our bed was in a huge bay window. And shortly after we moved in, we would hear footsteps of people on the third floor, lots of people with big heavy boots walking across the floor. Now the only problem with that is, obviously there was nobody up there, and also there was no floor. There was just the joists. But they were on a floor. This was on a floor, you know. This is like guys like what, with big boots. So the first time it happens, you're really scared, you know. It's like some horrible exorcist situation. But when you bought the house and they're not going anywhere and you're as sure as hell not going anywhere, you learn to live with that. Many was the time that when I heard them, I tried to beat them to it by rushing up the stairs to the third floor, and of course, looking in it, nobody's there, because they were ghosts. I lived in a house that was filled with ghosts. This in itself is a 2-hour situation to talk to you properly about this, but I'm just going to give you a few highlights. So we have the guys walking around with the big heavy boots on the floor, but there was no floor, just floor joists. But wherever they were, whatever the dimension they were coming from, they definitely had a floor. There was a certain landing, a step. Well, it was one of those stairways that came up, and then there was a big landing, and then it came up on another angle. And whenever you got, not whenever, sometimes when you got to that landing, you'd hear, Geoffrey! A voice calling your name. Or it could be Brenda, or it could be Avalon, or it could be India. It would call out. So they knew who we were. They knew exactly who we were. Like they had our ID. And I had heard this from the children, and of course, you know, even though you live with that, you're skeptical until it happened to me. And I'm standing there, because there's a big window there, you can look out at the back. I had 7 acres, you could look out at the back, as I often did, and I was just kind of, Geoffrey! Oh, sure, they do call your name. Another one was another thing that Rich got, well, what I did, you know, it's funny what people do when they get money. I bought cool dogs. I still like cool dogs. I have in America, I have an old English sheepdog. I've had those since 1971, but I bought an Irish wolfhound. They are the coolest dogs in the world. So her name was Claire. So Claire, you know, it was winter. It's cold in Lockport, so I would myself be the last person to walk around and turn off all the lights and lock all the doors and everything, and I would put Claire in the kitchen, and she would curl up by the heater. Now the heater, to operate that heater, it was a gas heater, and propane, and not propane, natural gas, and you would have to reach your hand and turn a little knob, and it had 0 to 10, and I would put it on 3, and then I'd lock. There was a kitchen door, and then there was a door to the kitchen. I would lock it, and I'd take the key like Ebenezer Scrooge, and I'd put it in my pocket, and I'd go back up to bed. There wasn't one single morning in about the 20 years that, well, she didn't live 20 years, as long as I had Claire, however many years that was, a few years. She got cancer eventually, died. There wasn't one morning that I got up that heater dial wasn't all the way turned up to 10. So that when I came in there, it was like a sauna. Now, Claire didn't do that. And I had the key. Tell you one more story about the ghost, because I'm kind of saving this for something bigger. I pity the people that bought it from me. And I tried to, they're real squares. And I tried to warn them, dude, you know, this place is filled with ghosts. Yeah, okay, fine. It's just, yeah, we've heard about this Giuliano character. He's a little bit out there. Okay, they've owned it since 2011. That's 8 years, 9 years now, whatever it is. I hope you're enjoying the ghost there. You didn't believe me. I always wore and treasured my wedding ring. And every night, without fail, I would put it on the bedstand next to the bed. One day I woke up and it was gone. I know goddamn well I put that thing there. I always do. I took it off because it was uncomfortable to wear at night, so I would just, as a matter of habit, put it on the bedstand. It was gone. Well, I was really upset. Man, it was my wedding ring, so I looked. Everybody was upset, so we looked all over the house. The big house is an 8,000 square foot house. It's a big house. So we looked and 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 we couldn't find it. It was gone, so we forgot about it. Now, it came a time that there was a ballroom. That's right, there was a ballroom on the first floor. And we were redecorating. So I had ordered a scaffolding, and the scaffolding was put up. And then we had this really nice molding, as one has in those Victorian houses. And I like to paint. I've always liked to paint. So I was painting the molding. Now, it was a 23-foot high ceiling. And the scaffolding was like maybe 18 feet high, and the molding was maybe like 19 or something. It was up near the top at night. Not quite at the top. And there was a little tiny ledge on that. You know where I'm going with this. There was a little tiny ledge on that molding that stuck out about maybe a little more than 3/4 of an inch. And I was painting and I was painting, and as I got towards the end, there was the wedding ring. I mean, nobody got a scaffolding or a ladder and put that up there for me to find it like 5 years later. The ghost did it. They knew who we were, and we know who they were. My wife used to say to me, try to make friends with them. You know, calm them the fuck down. So, we got into this thing. She started it, saying, okay, guys, we're going to bed. We would you guys like keep it down? You know, do what you got to do, but just like, don't go crazy. We're going to bed now. Or conversely, when we come in, we're home. Hi, everybody. How's it going? Hope you had a good day. And that seemed to help when we acknowledge them. I have far scarier stories than that, but I will save them. That's just a little taste of the haunting of 735 East Market Street. Ha, ha, ha. You squares that ripped me off when I sold you the house for my sauna that you were supposed to give me. I hope they're scaring the hell out of you. Good luck to you.